Hi team, this is Naveen Nanjundappa. I'm your Scrum trainer. Today we are going to talk about the myth associated with the Scrum Framework. I'm sure by now you would have seen the other videos related to Scrum Framework in my channel. The myths associated with the Scrum Framework are mainly because of the misunderstanding that people carry. Let's look at some of them. The first one is Scrum isn't complete. Yes, how many of you have felt that the Scrum framework isn't complete? It does not answer most of the questions. Example, if you have to create a team who is responsible for hiring and firing, how do you evaluate people? How do you get your contract signed? What is the relationship between the reporting managers? A lot of things. How does the team work within the sprints? A lot of things is not described in Scrum, and hence many people think the Scrum is incomplete. But this is a big myth. In fact, Scrum is a framework. As a framework, it is recommending you to follow some rules and guidelines, but does not recommend you to follow any specific tools, techniques, or strategy. How do you evaluate your team members? Is your strategy. How do you get your contract signed between your customers? Is your strategy. Which tool do you use for planning? That's your tool and a technique. So the tools and techniques and strategies are independent of any framework, and hence Scrum also does not tell you. Just think over, did Waterfall tell you which tool, technique, and strategy to use? No. In fact, the Scrum is a framework that lets you use any tool and technique and strategy that is more suitable for your ecosystem. It is the tools and techniques and the strategies choice that you make in the Scrum frameworks, the guidelines, makes you effective and efficient. So think over this way. There are infinite tools and techniques and infinite strategies, and you have the liberty to pick any tool and technique and strategy that makes you the best. Your focus should be on building winning product, building winning teams, and achieving the results. Scrum helps you in focusing on that. The next myth that you would probably hear is Scrum will make us deliver the project faster. In fact, I know there are a lot of companies which tries to adapt to Scrum or say, oh, agile projects will make us deliver faster to the customer. In fact, this is a big myth. The Scrum framework makes your project go faster. It's not the reality. In fact, what makes your project go faster is not even Scrum framework. Forget Scrum. No framework will make your project be delivered faster. That's surprising because framework only gives you the skeleton, the rules and guidelines, but it is the tools and techniques and strategy that you use. So you will be fast and win if you choose the right tool and technique and the strategies. So think over, a chess player is going to win based on their strategies. It does not mean that your following the rules will make you deliver the results faster. They will make you deliver the results, but your fastness depends on the strategies and tools and techniques you use. This is another myth that many management think, oh, we are getting delayed responses in waterfall, let us shift to Scrum and it is going to deliver faster. No, it does not make you deliver faster, it actually make you deliver better. Tools and techniques makes you deliver faster, so think over it. The next myth is Scrum does not work for our projects. This is a very interesting one. Many people say Scrum does not work for us and we cannot go by books. In fact, this is a bigger problem. At its core, Scrum is just an inspection adaptation mindset. It brings in a lot of inspect and adapt cycles. be it with respect to the process in the name of sprint retrospective, or inspecting and adapting with respect to the product in sprint review. Scrum continuously helps the team to improve through inspection adaptation mindset. So Scrum drives inspection adaptation. Now, I can't think over, does your project really does not need inspection adaptation? I am surprised because every project needs to be inspected and adapted for the risks, for the ecosystem, for the requirements, for the people involved, the management, the business decisions. I don't see that you can run away from inspection adaptation. Certainly, Scrum may not be suitable for you, but Scrum is not the, the framework that you can just ignore. It gives you a lot of inspect and adapt mindset. The next myth is in Scrum, everyone does everything. This is a very interesting one. And this comes from team members saying that the Scrum expects the Scrum team to be cross-functional and self-managing. And the myth is, yes, Scrum expects the Scrum team to be cross-functional and self-managing, but then the self-organizing, self-managing, cross-functional is a result of the team working together on a single goal. Cross-functional is having all the skills required to deliver the results. All the skills related to coding, testing, user experience, documentation, and a lot of things. Self-managing, deciding who does what and how do they achieve the goal. In fact, think over. Are you getting confused with cross-functional team or an individual? Cross-functional team is where all the skills are within the team to achieve the final goal of the product, whereas cross-functional individual is the individual person who is multi-skilled. Scrum certainly does not expect every team member to be multi-skilled, but having a multi-skilled person is certainly going to be value addition to the organization and the teams. And it, at the end of the day, gets into the decision, the strategic decisions of the organization to hire a multi-skilled person. Think over again. The next one is the Agile and the Scrum words, they are interchangeable. No, this is another myth. Agile and Scrum are not interchangeable words. Agile is a set of values and principles that drive the inspect and adapt mindset. The Agile Manifesto and the principles were created back in 2001 by 17 people, experts from various different frameworks and domain areas, for enabling us to create better software. Scrum is a specific framework which is built on inspect and adapt mindset. It has certain rules and guidelines. Now, Scrum was existent even before the Agile Manifesto and principles were created. So, Scrum Framework talks about inspect and adapting mindset, whereas the Agile talks about the values and principles that is associated with inspect and adapt mindset. And the Agile values and principles are derived from a lot of other lightweighted processes represented from the 17 people who joined for the creating Agile Manifesto. In fact, you can be Agile without using any Scrum terms. Just think over how many times you have heard, hey, we are going to start Agile project and we need a Scrum Master. That's a myth. The Scrum Master is a master of Scrum and is present in Scrum. If you have to be Agile, you can always be Agile by following the values and principles, choosing the tools and techniques, and the strategy that helps you with inspect and adapt mindset and deliver the results. These are some of the myths that I wanted to talk to you about related to Scrum. There are a lot more myths that we can go ahead and burst, and I hope you had good time learning about some of the myths that you would have come across. This is Naveen Nanjundappa from 12 Principles Consulting. You can always connect back to me on the email address and the website. And also, you can post your questions so that we can address them as we move forward. I hope these video series are making sense to you and also helpful for you to discover more of Scrum. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this, the other myths that you have heard about Scrum. This is Naveen signing off for now.